All right, this is vlog number 7. So you can't really tell, but with the time change, it's a little darker now. And I kind of like the winter, but not in the sense of a Seattle winter. I'm over that, but I definitely don't mind LA because it's like 70 something degrees. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's see what went down today. One of the things that I think helps with moving progress forward, and I'll share a little story that with work sometimes you feel like you know a lot. I'm not going to say you know it all, but you know a lot, enough to be dangerous, enough to do your job good, and that's about it. But what about those times where you have nothing to do, right? Where you feel like you have nothing to do? Well, in those moments, I remember one time working in a restaurant, my boss was kind of complaining, which was a big no-no, by the way, but I was kind of complaining that nothing to do, and he's like, "Justin, there's always something to do." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And then he was like, "Well, why don't you clean the floor?" I was like, "Okay, but I already did that." He's like, No. Clean like the baseboards." I was like, "Oh, wow." And then, I got that done, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, I got that done." He's like, "All right, now go do this, and then go do that." And literally, there was like a million things to do that I never even thought to think of. And I'm always reminded of that whenever I'm at work or building on Grit to Great, where I feel like I've done enough, or that there's like nothing to do. I always remember that moment where he was like, "Justin, go do this, go do that." And that's what I learned in the restaurant business, was that there's always something to do. There's always something to do. And that doesn't mean like stress yourself out and overwork yourself, but it just goes to show you that if you ever feel like you're bored, or that there's still time on the clock, when you set in that time to work, but you feel like you complete everything, what else can you do to add value, add service? I learned that almost every single day, and the nice thing about that is you start building up muscular structure of like creativity. You start building up that creative muscle, because then you start looking at areas that you didn't think to look at before, and you start growing your value with whatever you're doing, whether it's your own business or you're at a job. It's always about thinking, or always think of ways that you can make it better. That's how people make money, is through the value that they create. So if you're not creating value, then guess what? You're not making money. And it's really that simple, in my point of view. I'm switching hands because my arm gets tired. I need like a selfie stick. It's really that simple. Is if you're not creating value, you're not creating money. You're not making money, because who wants to pay for something that's not valuable? So just something to think about. There's always something to do, and that doesn't mean stress out and not enjoy your life. Definitely enjoy your life. Do things that make you happy, but also don't use boredom as an excuse to regress. Don't use boredom as an excuse to relax. If you're going to relax after a hard day's work. Relax at the point where you can actually feel good about it, not feel like you're wasting your life away. That's an extreme example, I get that, but I think you get the point. Anyways, Justin Jensen, checking out. Later.